Hello, thanks for your interest in this video. The purpose of this video is to announce that all of my open source GIS courses are on sale now through Christmas Day for $9.99 US. Depending on where you live, you may pay significantly less, potentially a little bit more. Again, it depends on your location. I've had a lot of questions in the past because I've announced these sales and people say the code didn't work or I couldn't figure out how to use the code or things like that. So I think the best way is to go directly to my website, which is Geospatial Brainstorming. And after you get down past all these ads, you'll end up on the courses page of my blog. And this is where all of the courses that I have are described. You can see that there are 6 courses in a series on web programming courses for geospatial applications. That may seem like a lot. 2 of these are focused on mobile applications, so if you're mostly interested in desktop applications, you wouldn't need those. But web programming is not that difficult, but there are a lot of bits and pieces that you have to understand. So if somebody tells you that they can teach you how to make a web map in 1 or 2 hours, I'd suggest that you probably don't believe them. Maybe you could certainly put some geospatial information on a map, but you're not going to be able to do any data collection or any kind of analysis or anything other than just maybe putting some data on a map. Probably about the best that you can hope for in that amount of time. But these courses will go through and explain all the bits and pieces, what HTML is, what JavaScript is, what CSS is, what Bootstrap and jQuery are, and then some mapping applications, and also how to access geospatial data stored in a database on the web, which allows you to have multiple users editing data simultaneously. And then we have a series of courses on QGIS and PostGIS, which work really well together, which is why I include these together. These courses will teach you, well, I'm not going to say they'll teach you everything you need to know, but they'll at least get you started to the point where you should be able to figure out the rest on your own. I'm especially excited about my course on spatial database with PostGIS because I think using PostGIS to store data and analyze data in combination with QGIS is kind of a killer app for geospatial applications because you can create an instance of a PostGIS database stored on a server that's accessible from the web, and if you use that data in QGIS, then anybody who has access to your QGIS project file should be able to open up and see the same data that you're working on it, and they can edit it just like you can from anywhere in the world where they have an internet connection. And as many people as needed can be editing that data at the same time. And that's something that will cost you tens of thousands of dollars with commercial software. The next course is Enterprise GIS Made Easy, which explains the process for setting up a PostGIS database on a web server somewhere that can be accessed through the internet. And so I discuss how to do that and show how to use it in QGIS or even ArcGIS and several other client applications as well. QField Quick Start is a course that teaches you how to use the QField application for collecting geospatial data on an Android phone using your phone's GPS. And one nice thing about QField is that it also can work directly with a PostGIS database. So if you have an internet connection, the data that you collect in the field will go directly into that database and will be accessible to anyone who's using that database, again, which could be anyone in the world with a internet connection. And so that's super handy. You don't have to come back from the field and download data off your device and integrate it with your existing data. It just basically eliminates that entire workflow. You just go out in the field, collect your data, and boom, you're done. And then I have a series of courses on Python programming for geospatial applications. Survey of Python for GIS applications covers basic Python, especially if you've had some familiarity with other programming languages but not with Python. It explains a lot of the details of that. And then also some of the Python libraries that are useful for geospatial applications, which there are a lot and they're pretty amazing. And so we just touch a bit on those. The next Python course is about automating QGIS with Python. So this teaches us about the PyQGIS API, which we can use to write custom scripts that work within QGIS to automate processes. So if you have something that takes a lot of time and you feel like it's something that could be easily automated, that would be a good place to start. And then I have the course on PyQt 5. PyQt 5 allows you to develop graphical user interfaces with Python. And the whole QGIS software was written in Qt. And so in order to write actual plugins with QGIS, you need to know PyQt 5. And so I wanted to include this as a separate course. This one doesn't discuss anything particular geospatial, but it is required for QGIS plugins, which is the subject of the fourth course, QGIS plugin development with Python. And this course goes over the plugin development process, different types of plugins that we can create with some nice example applications, and even a plugin that we create in the course that I submitted to the QGIS official plugin repository. And then I have a single course on GeoServer. We may end up with some more advanced courses, but this covers the whole process of setting up an instance of GeoServer in the cloud, adding your own data to it, and then being able to serve that data as WMS or WFS services that can be used in web maps or other desktop GIS programs, or any client that can access WMS and WFS services. And what's coming up next is a series of courses on data science with Python for a geospatial application. And I expect to have the first course on vector analysis with GeoPandas available before the end of 2020, in the next week or two. So these are the courses that I have that are available now. If you're interested in one of these, for instance, say you were interested in the PyQt 5 course, you can click on this link and that will show you the course announcement, which provides a lot more information about what exactly is in the course, maybe even a video description of what's in the course. And if you're ready to buy, you can just click here where it says available now, and that will take you to the course page on Udemy. And this is the part that a lot of people have trouble with. The first thing you should do is come down here to apply coupon and enter the coupon code XMIS2020 and click apply, and you'll notice that this $11.99 price will go down to $9.99, which may not be a big savings because Udemy's having a sale right now that ends tonight, but tomorrow probably the base price for that course will be back at $49.99, but you can still get it for $9.99 until the end of Christmas Day. And if you wanted to share this course as a gift for someone you know, you can click this link, gift this course, and enter the recipient's name and email address. You can tell it when exactly you want the gift to be sent and maybe include a message or something like that. But that's really nice, especially at this time of year and in the middle of a pandemic when it's hard to visit people and hard to share gifts personally, and someone you know might actually have time on their hands to learn something that may help them in their career. So if you want to give a gift, that's the way you do it. Thanks for listening. Again, the coupon code is XMIS2020, just like is shown down here. And that will work for any one of these courses until the end of Christmas Day.